favor. Away!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to KritzKast. We're still going in with the Highlander action on UGC League Platinum. This week we have week 5 of CP Steel between two very good teams. Currently in the middle of a table, but everything could be still decided as we are still in the middle of the season. My name is Jake. Today with me in the casting booth is no other than Chando. And like I've said, today we have two very good teams fighting each other for the top seed. Hopefully, it is Art of Throwing versus Doctors of Mediocrity. We did cast, and also with Chando last week. Art of Throwing, unfortunately, they had to fall to Xenon, who took them over on Swiftwater. However, today they will be trying to reclaim themselves against Dr. Med. So, Chando, what do you think about today's game? What do you think? How do these people look like, especially on a map like Steel?
Yeah, both teams are looking really strong today, Jake, especially on a map like Steel. You've got, from Dogs of Mediocrity, you've got a very good team there with some real long-time cohesion. So they're going to have some interesting strats, I expect, for Steel. And after all, this is a map that I would say, in my opinion, is 90% cohesion and strategy, and a very minute amount of DM is actually required. You can win this with just absolute gimmicks. At the same time, though, as we saw from last week, Art of Throwing have some very capable DM players. I'm talking about Nate. I'm also talking about, I think he's saying that I think it was Wild Piggy was playing demo, and he was doing really well as well. So if he is playing again today, then I'm expecting some good damage output from them as well. So it's going to be a close one. Yeah, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. Some people here are long season players. I mean, they've been playing this game for a long while, especially when it comes to Doctors of Mediocrity. They've been around for a few seasons now, mostly in ETF to Will. Now they've ventured into UGC as there is some sort of a resurgence for the UGC League, neglected for some time by European players. Now they're trying to get back to it, trying to fight for the first place, for the gold medals, for all those mostly just bragging rights at this point. But yeah, I mean, Doctors of Mediocrity, mostly a German team. There's a sprinkle of Austrians in there, and there's a few other nationalities, but mostly it is basically a German national team when it comes to Highlander. We have Atzibum, who has been playing this game for a very long time, Floey, who has been a very good scout as well. We have Lion King, who we've seen before playing the demo class, I do believe, and he's been doing some major work in the beginning of the season. And right now, well, we're waiting for both teams to decide how they want to play this map through. Like I said, this is CP Steel. This map is, like every single time I say it, it's my favorite map when it comes to Highlander. It's just because it offers so much in terms of options you can do on this map. I mean, you can go through the alphabet push, which is A, B, C, D, E. You can also just rush E. Most teams actually usually try to go for the E push, as we've seen before, just to kind of, put that pressure on the enemy team. And this is a CP format, which means one team will defend, the other team will try to take them down, the places will switch, and that's it. There won't be any additional rounds, there won't be do-overs. It's just the first team who takes this map, who takes this round, will win the game and net themselves some points.
Yeah, CP Steel, it's kind of one of those. I've always seen it described as something like Marmite. You either love or you hate it. I personally love this map. Like you, Jake, I think it's such a diverse map with, you never know what's going to happen. Some teams just pull out some really wacky and zany stuff, and it just works like a treat. And yeah, I mean, you never really know what a team's going to do. And it's one of those maps also that you can have a minute game, think you're in the clear, and then the enemy team just comes and pulls in a 4-minute game just by rushing E and just completely just duping you. So you really just never know this one. It's always exciting to watch. It's always exciting to cast.
Yes, and here, like I said, every single time, the underdogs have a very good chance at winning this game. And this game in particular, it's kind of difficult for me to point which team is significantly better than the other. When it comes to stats, just looking really quickly at the UGC League, both teams are at 2 wins and 2 losses. Both teams are very similar in terms of skill, in terms of player ability, in terms of, how would you say, how much they've played this game so far. And right now, there's not much to say apart from the team with a better strategy will win this. We've seen it time and time again, Chando, when both teams are very similar in skill, but the one who's been better prepared, who's been putting some hours into map talks, who's been putting hours into getting to know the map and knowing where they have to be at certain times, has been proven to win this map in particular. And right now, like I said, it depends on the teams themselves. Unfortunately, I don't think we have enough intel on which team has scrimmed more, which team has decided to put their time into map talks. But we will see in tonight's game, as like I said, it is a middle of a table game, but it is for everything and nothing. I mean, it will get them higher on the list. They will get a much better seed out of this game as we are reaching, well, almost the final stages of the before the playoffs here.
Yeah, and interestingly, really about Steel is you're saying about which team comes down to having the better strategy. At the end of the day, like, I hate to really sort of make an assumption this quickly, but Dogs of Mediocrity, team that have been playing for several seasons. They've been playing as long as I've been playing this game, so at least season 8 of ETF12, and I think maybe even before that. I'm sure, I mean, the majority of them have stayed together for that long. I'm talking about like Lion King, Atsubam. I think if Prophet's playing, he's been playing for a long time with them, as has ASN, etc. They've been playing together a long time. They've played this map so many times together, and I think that might give them the edge over Art of Throwing. We saw a similar thing last week, if you remember, like on Swiftwater, the Art of Throwing. They had that DM potential, but because Swiftwater was sort of another one of those maps where you need that cohesion, and I felt like they kind of lacked it. So unless they've had some very good map talks and some consistent scrimmage, then I don't know. I'm putting my thoughts into Dogs of Mediocrity going to take this one.
It's a fair assumption here. Like I said, it's kind of difficult. I keep repeating that word, like I said, but this is what I said, what I've always been saying, is that the team with more preparation will win this. This is a given. This is a steal. Very difficult map to play, even more difficult to cast, and probably the hardest to do camera work here. And speaking of camera work, today on the camera we have none other than niceAsh, who's been with us for some time now. He's been substituting Wheathoof on that spot and has been doing an amazing job at it. So hopefully give him some kappas there in the chat, so he knows he's appreciated, because the cameramen don't usually get enough recognition for as much work as they put into what you see on the screen right now. But we are waiting right now on the last player for the blue team. Blue team is Art of Throwing here. And Chano, let me know which players should we watch out for during this game, especially, let's say, your top pick, most dangerous player on each of the teams.
Oh, that's a tough one. For Art of Throwing, I'm going to go and say 2, actually. I'm going to say, first of all, Nate. I believe he's playing for them. And, I mean, as we've seen him go big just time after time, and he's such a strong player. He's gotten good so quickly, and, yeah, it's really crazy. So I'm expecting big things from him. Although, it's not a usually sniper for an app, but still, I think he'll still pull some interesting stuff out. The other player definitely would be Kasuki. He's come up really well in the past few seasons, both in Highlander and ETF12, and recently played for Ugandan Peace Police in ETF12, and whenever I scrimmed them, he was just insane. In fact, I scrimmed them on this map, and I remember him just getting huge damage and doing so much work on the flank and just getting into places where, frankly, he shouldn't be getting. So I'm really expecting some big things from him tonight. On the other team, I'm gonna have to put my all my eggs to Lion King. He's such a consistent player, and I remember playing against him in like mid or something like that, like a good couple of years ago now, and he was so much better than anyone else in that team, and I think that's carried on with him. He's a huge carry for that team, and I think he's not going to disappoint this game either.
If I was gonna put any points towards any of the players here, I would probably have to give some to Nate. If he is unchecked by the enemy team, he can just go absolutely huge and carry the entire team on his sniper back. He's been very consistent with those headshots. He's been dropping the enemy medic very often. And only just because they managed to take down Nate and put so much resources last week, Xenon, when they played him, that was the only case where Nate was actually shut down and unable to do anything. But we are getting ready right now. Just a quick heads up as well. As for the other team, I would probably say it would be here for me, Flowey. He's been very consistent on the flank. Tonight he's playing a soldier, and he is very, very dangerous if left unchecked. But right now, we are starting a game, ladies and gentlemen. This is Season 23 of UGC League, Week 5 of CP Steel. On the red team here, we have Art of Throwing. For Art of Throwing, Dave on Medic, Fire on Spy, Kasuke on Soldier, Jusa on Engineer Trader, on Scout, bunch of boxes on the Demo Man, Sis is on Fire, Nate is going to be sniping, and Dr. Bootish is going to be playing the heavy. On the blue side here, we have Doctors of Mediocrity, Beckler on the Medic, Flowey on Soldier, Surson in a Scout here, Kalahu is Sniper, Buck on Heavy, Spooky Yakin is on Spy, Super Freddy is on Pyro, Dizzy on Engineer, and Lion King rounding it up with the Demo Man. Right now, we see the blue team just swarming A point, as is custom, is completely left unchecked by the red team here, Art of Throwing, deciding to just put their resources onto B point and putting as much force as they can in order to stop the enemy team. I mean, this is what this map is all about.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously no contest on the A point. That for anyone that isn't too familiar with how this, with the current meta, it's very rare to see any defense of A, just because it's such a weak point and it can really jeopardize the other points if you lose those trying to hold it. So it's often left. And as we're going to see, the flank are going to be pushing through White Room. They're going to be pushing into E now. You can already see they've got their scout, Airson, putting pressure on point now as the combo maybe getting ready to push up top. The heavy, however, Dr. British doing a lot of work. He actually gets taken down by Lion King. That might give him the entry to push in here if they so choose. Looks like that the flank has been dealt with there. Nate getting stabbed, however, might provide an opportunity to get some players in without having to worry about getting picked off by that Prem sniper there. They are going to use the Uber in as the sentry goes down quickly. The NG isn't managing to get it back, but the counter Uber is going to come out from red. Way better for them. They're denying that demo really nicely, but Super Freddy comes in and saves a demo actually really nicely. He does get taken down, however, but Buck's already following up along with Lion King, and it looks like they're doing really good. Lion King taking down boxes, and Bomb is going to come in though. They might be able to get the NG of all people. Not going to do too much actually, as it looks like this is going to be a swift and easy cap for Doctors of Mediocrity.
Pretty good defense showing there from Art of Throwing, however. They were a bit too scattered. They didn't focus the right targets, as though they did get Dave, or here, actually, Beckler on the way out here. They did lose the second point, which is most important here. Even if you lose your medic, you just simply put your players forward, and you're basically able to cap the point without too much of an issue, as the enemy team does not expect that to happen. But right now they're in connector here, moving slowly forward. They have Beckler with them, healing up, buffing all the players relevant here. Lion King, Buck, Ark holding this point here, getting a few pills just being spammed there by the Demo Man. He's currently just being on the lookout here on the C point. Only level 1 sentry. The Spy tries to get in. Spooky Yakin trying to sap, unfortunately gets found out here by Dr. Buish and Dave, who swiftly take him out. And right now, Doctors of Mediocrity slowly inching their way forward. Nice headshot there by Highlander and Dr. Bootish. That's a lot of health down on the battlefield here. Moving in, they have 100% here on the offense. They still holding it. Beckler is very conservative with this. He wants every single player to be able and ready to push in. Flo just jumps in, tries to take someone, gets the demo. Trader going down as well. That's 3 people down for the defenders. Dave is on 100%, popping the Uber. 4 people down. They're trying to save C point with all they have. Beckler going down here, cut off by Fire, and a nice headshot follow-up from Nate, as they're able to stabilize here, as Art of Throwing currently holding this point. Only level 1 sentry, but still, they are in control at the moment, and Beckler has to rebuild his Uber.
Yeah, it was a really good Uber hold there by Dave. Gave them all the space they needed to get his Uber back to full charge. Made them use in and then just repushed. And that medic was way too caught out. And Dr. Mediocrity suffered that heavily. They used a little too early, in my opinion. And they paid for it. And now they are going to be able to regroup. Now they've got Buck playing up on that catwalk area. He's getting peppered heavily by the sentry, and it looks like Airson's going to be focusing a bit of time here, maybe just to push a few players away, maybe give them an entry onto the C point. They are trying to focus that sentry down now as we speak. It's Buck just taking it by himself, and I'm not sure what's happening with the rest of the combo. It looks like, in fact, they're going to be focusing E now. This is quite an interesting strategy. You've got Buck, who's just been taken down, was basically trying to take C by himself, and the rest were committing to E there. And they've managed to actually get that level 3 up into BCE. That's very interesting indeed. So if they can get a player on the point, that's going to help them heavily. They've just got to start. They've already got it halfway now, and no one's really doing much about it. Erson's going to fall weak. He's going to back up and try and get health, and Yakin goes down along with Lion King. So it looks like they are maybe going to have to back this out as Dr. British just starts walking in now, but the Uber is used and Dr. British is going to go down. But I think Dave's going to be backing out, and he's probably going to hold on to this as he gets Uber as well. They might be looking to go back in.
Yeah, you Dave, good decision here to run away. He's getting jumped by Flowy, forcing the Uber. Very important Uber force there, as it's going to give their medic, Beckler, quite a bit of an advantage here. E-point has been trickled by Erson. However, it was not enough. It's just kind of trickled all the way back. They're still kind of scrambled here in the lobby area. Demo is putting so much damage onto Buck, eventually going down. Lion King tries to catch him up, eventually does. As he goes down here, Dave needs to back out. Only has Nate and Juica to help him out here. Spooky Yakin trying to get in position. He is. E-point is so close to being capped here. Only Dr. Bootish is able to defend it right now. Dave has currently reunited with him, needs to give him some Uber charge, but no, Clahu just makes sure he is taken down here. Soldier right now, Flowy is on the point, slowly capping, only one timer on it, but also Super Freddy goes on the point as well. That's 2 times on it. E-point slowly getting capped, only Trader trying to do something about it, gets picked up here. No one else on the point currently. Erson is trying to get on the point, trying to bait out those sticks. Very nice sticky shot by that Demo here. Art of Throwing having a little bit of trouble to stabilize, however they probably are here. Fine trying to stop this sentry being constantly built up in the connector. He is making sure that he does. Spooky Yakin goes down to Sis here into the pit. Down he goes, but looks like your Art of Throwing are able to stabilize, putting so much damage on the enemy team. They are unable to control this point anymore, and they're currently moving into C using that distraction. Very well played here by Doctors of Mediocrity.
Yeah, really good choice for them not to overcommit to that E-push. It was becoming more and more clear that they weren't going to be able to get it, that Art of Throwing were just stabilizing really well onto that E defense, and they were just been wasting their time. Instead, they wrap around, take C, get better spawn timers, get those bridges across to the E point, and now maybe they can commit again. They can maybe commit some more players on as those bridges begin to extend. But the Dogs of Mediocrity combo now playing in BCE here, maybe getting ready to make a play with something. However, Bart goes down to a nice stab there by Fire. Kila Hulu also getting sniped by Nate, and now they are going to be rotating perhaps into... We've got the Dogs of Mediocrity combo, Super Freddy and Lion King going to be pushing through Death Valley. This is a dangerous place. The name speaks for itself, and they are going to try and get through here as quick as they can. Medics following through. Door does open, but the medic's already through and he's onto the point now. D's now being capped. However, Super Freddy goes down in the process, and it's just Lion King and Beckler with 100% Uber. In fact, he's going to drop. Ooh. Oh, what a disappointment. And now Lion King's down. The Uber was used, luckily. Maybe for Dogs of Mediocrity that means something, but regardless, that is a real disappointment.
Yeah, Art of Throwing doing a really good job catching him off guard. He tried to make this a little bit too much, and Dave just pops his as soon as the medic dies here. Beckler has to rebuild his Uber. Has that same Uber percentage as Dave right now. It's very important here for the offenses. They're able to be a little bit more liberal with the use of it. Buck's almost getting caught off by Trader here. A few meat shots in, but that's not enough here. Fire as well, just lurking in the shadows, trying to push in from the connector here. Doctors of Mediocrity have a good plan. They're trying to put put people into position, moving through the C again, probably, as Lanking is going through on the bottom. Maybe they're trying to push E right now. It's hard to say, but no, here they're putting most of their forces on the E point. A Flowy and Spooky getting taken care of on the point. A nice spam coming out of the Demo Man. Here are throwing quite a lot of trouble, but they're sticking it up. They have a level 2 sentry up and running here by Juice. A very good spot, getting spammed by the Heavy Buck, doing a good job here. Only Erson and Spooky Yakin on the point are slowly moving in. They need to start capping it again. They have all the picks they need. There's a nice force onto Dave by Super Freddy. He was caught off guard. He couldn't go back into spawn because of those air blasts, and now that Uber goes to waste. A lot of people down for the defenders, and here Beckler with 100%. He's very safe in the connector right now. They're moving up to the windows with Lion King, locking down that despawn as well as E, and that's a very, very good position to be in for the attackers here, as Art of Throwing lack the players or lack the coordination to do anything about it. Lion King doing so much work right now, and the Demo Man for the red team is struggling to get out of the spawn in the first place.
Lion King single-handedly holding that down really well. What a player. And now the Uber is going to come out there, and it's all going to be a little too late now for Art of Throwing. They weren't able to reconsolidate in time. They were getting locked off by that Demo Man, and that combo just holding up in that top lobby area was just unstoppable. They had a few flank players holding in White Room, and they were just able to keep their flank from gaining superiority of the E point, and then just with a couple of players on point, they could just slowly cap that without having to worry about being overrushed there. It was really well played by them. A lot of teams I've seen in the past, they usually opted to just plonk as many players as they can on the point so they caps quicker, and it never ends up working that much because the demo just gets space, gets out some insane splash damage, and those players forced to back off or they're killed. Dogs Mediocrity that time, really smart play there, just to only commit maybe 1, 2, at most 3 players onto the point at one time, so they've only already got like a times 3 or times 4, and you substitute a bit of time, but ultimately you're going to be a lot safer. You can afford to lock off those doors, so yeah, really impressed by that.
And they did use their plays very well. I mean, they've been kind of trying to distract the enemy team with the E pushes every now and then, put most of their forces onto defending E, forcing them to forego their position. As a result, they were able to cap C in time, extend those platforms, and basically try to contest E point. 9 minutes is a respectable time, but this time Art of Throwing are going to be trying to beat it, as they're currently capping the A point. A lot of forces onto A right now, as only a core class combo onto attack here onto B. Nice stab there by Spooky Yakin onto Dr. Bootish. Nate goes down as well. That's 2 people down for the attackers. They're probably going to be waiting for some more reinforcements to come up with them. Fire's the only person on to B right now. They're going to try to stab the sniper. He goes down. Kilahulu goes down there, and they're pushing in right now, slowly but steadily. Davis a little bit dangerous spot, but he doesn't have to worry about that sniper spot anymore. Here Demo Man is currently putting some sticks on the sentry, being wrangled here. A lot of spam going onto it, but it's still being kept up by Dizzy. Uber Charge is still ready to go by Beckler. He is healing up all the teams. He's been very aggressive, but he doesn't have to worry just yet. Fire getting caught out by Bug. Not quite enough damage to kill him yet. And the demo goes down, caught off. Unfortunately, some kind of a misunderstanding. Uber has been popped too early, and the demo has been dropped. Very, very bad decision here by Beckler. Very unfortunate. Spooky Yakin actually uses that distraction to kill up the heavy as well. And here, Beckler with 100% Uber charge. That was Dave who misclicked there, unfortunately dropping his demo. Very crucial here, and they'll have to probably milk a little bit more time. But look at his fire is still there. He's gonna stop the Demo Man. Lion King going down. They might still be in this yet. Art of Throwing pushing under the point. Demo Man moving in onto the point, but almost by himself. Sunrise is gonna help him out. Juice as well, and the majority of Art of Throwing forces are on to B right now. Losing that Demo Man, losing the sentry spot is very crucial for the defense. And here, Art of Throwing abusing this fact, even with that Uber advantage like Beckler had, he had to get out of the situation, and now they are looking at defending C.
Yeah, they really did a good job at cleaning up what was basically a massive disaster for them. Dave making a terrible decision to use there, whether it's intentional or not, I'm not sure, but it was a big error on his part there. But they came over it really well, and they were able to secure that B point. Look now, they already rolled it straight onto C, so it's looking very strong for Art of Throwing. They just steamrolled this straight onto C, and it looks like now Dogs of Mediocrity gonna have to either hold D, or they're gonna have to fall back and sit on last on E. Looks like the sentry for Dr. Mediocrity being set up in that white room, so we may be able to see like a white room hold. But for now, we got Buck and Beckler are just going to be holding in the standard spot, trying to hold off that D connector, and I'm not sure where they are throwing. Are going to be deciding to push from. It looks like they're going to rotate back into BCE there. Dave getting dropped though to a back burner, something you don't see every day. Wow.
Yeah, it's something that catches you off guard. You never expect the pyro. In this case, it was Freddy, who just goes in from the back and backburns the medic. Very unfortunate for the attackers here, but now Beckler, 100% uber charged. They're moving into the lobby right now, the white room. Very good spot to be holding in. Dizzy is with that level 3 sentry ready to go from either side if need be. Lion King is sticking up the point. Very good position for Doctors of Mediocrity after losing 3 points to Art of Throwing so quickly. And now they have this whole area on lockdown with that uber advantage, very crucial, as the respawn time are very bad for the defenders here. I mean, we're speaking about maybe 25 seconds of a respawn, very long, very unforgiving if you do die. But right now they're holding this position very safe and sound here. Super Freddy, Lion King and Buck all together here. The whole combo is present and locking this area out. Kospooky is trying to find something here, looking for some frags. D point is currently getting capped by the attackers who are throwing. Don't have enough players, only have a flank there without a medic. Quickly dealt with by Lion King. Well played there by the demo man, as they're currently still locking it down. And I'm really surprised. I mean, Art of Throwing have a lot of time to cap E point. We're speaking about 5 minutes, but that sentry by Dizzy is just so annoying to deal with it. And that rescue ranger as well to help it out. Nice kill by Kilahulu onto Trader. I mean, getting that scout is so difficult by the sniper, but still, just having this difficulty to pierce the enemy defense so much. Looks like Doctors of Mediocrity have done their homework, and they have a strategy for defending E point.
Yeah, this holding the combo in white room is a very viable strategy. You can quickly rotate to E and to D whenever you need to. As you've seen, they will quickly able to rotate to any threats on either points incredibly quickly, and it's doing a lot of good for them. Killer Hulu doing really well, just playing on that E point. He's putting out a lot of damage there. Lion King does get sniped as the Uber comes in from Art of Throwing, and they're going to be able to take down that sentry without any hesitation. Airson going down as well. Dizzy as well. Sentry too. The lot is all being taken down as they're now just going to sit on point. Killer Hulu gets a good pick onto the heavy though as the counter Uber comes out, and now Dogs of Mediocrity pushing in nicely. It's going on to Buck, a little low, but it seems to be working. They've backed out pretty well there. The Fire getting pitted to death. However, Buck, Beckler, Killer Hula all getting taken down in the post-Uber as Art of Throwing just reconsolidated in white room. We're able just to out-DM them as they're going to be getting straight onto point now. Traitor just tickling point, trying to get a little bit of time on. Maybe they're going to be reconsolidating into white room as many boxes. The demo man, who we just don't know his name, is there by himself. Now getting caught up with Kasuki and Dave and Sis, and going to be rotating from D. They might actually try and cap D. They currently got a times 2, and it looks like the combo is going to be pushing forward. Going to maybe try and commit to E here. He is going to go down. I'm not sure. I think the Dr. Bridge went down there. I'm not too sure how. And they're just staying on point now here. They're in a good position. They just need to commit some players to the point as Lion King and Buck both go down. They can just sitting on a times 2 now. And Dr. British and Kasuki dealing with D at the same time that Sis and Fire are dealing with E, and Dogs of Mediocrity just do not know where to turn now. This is looking so strong. D's going to get taken, and now they're going to be reduced to 1 extra spawn there. Now they can all rotate and focus on E, and I don't think this has got a very good chance of Dogs of Mediocrity coming back from this. Jake.
Yeah, they're moving here into connector. Good strategy, but the timer is so close right now. 4 people on the point, currently capping. That Uber is still up and running. They're trying to bleed the players out. It looks like Doctors of Mediocrity just don't have the answer for it. They just swarm them in the connector, even pushing in with all their forces, and that is enough to secure the point and get themselves that first round here on CP Steel. Very well played here by our throwing, losing the first round in a pretty respectable time, but that offense by them, even after locking down the lobby area by Doctors of Mediocrity. It was not enough to stop this train from going in onto E point, and right now we probably be looking at the second round here. I'm not sure what the UGC ruling is saying about the CP Steel map game mode here. CPs usually we just play one map, at least it happened before, but we might be looking at some more maps coming in soon. But right now, Art of Throwing leading with 1 point in terms of rounds after this very amazing and very impressive display of coordination and simply just right decisions.
Certainly didn't expect the Art of Throwing to be steamrolling quite so quickly. They got C without a single contest at all, so that was really something, and that really boosted their overall time there, and it gave them a little bit less stress in capturing E. It took a bit of time to finally reconsolidate to a point where they could actually lock down both D and E. It was incredible to see, because Doctors of Mediocrity, they just didn't know where to turn, and it looks like we are going to be going to a second map here. So I assume that this is a best of 3. Yeah, I'm not sure how this CP applies. I think for this 5 CP, I guess it's best of 1, just due to the stalemates that it causes in Highlander. But for Steel, which can typically sometimes be a very quick game, done in like sometimes like as quick as like 10 minutes a round, I guess they may be a little bit more forgiving, and they're happy to run a best of 3 currently.
Yeah, I just got like a little whisper from Weedhoove right now that best of 3 is for the regular season. The best of 1, which I probably looked at, is for the playoff stages. So I'm sorry for that little mistake there, but we're going into the second round here. As like I said, Art of Throwing is currently leading with 1 point after this impressive display of great decision making. Right now they're going to be trying to attack for the second time, as the ruling says that the team who defended second in the first round is going to be defending first in the first round. They're going to be defending in the first round. The gates are down currently. We have Spooky Yakin right now just spying for the enemy team, standing on that rock, very safe spot, getting spammed here a little by the heavy, but currently Dr. Bootish is currently moving into the point right now. They might be looking at the E rush as well. Nate is low in health, finally finding that spy who's giving them all the intel to the enemy team here. Doctors of Mediocrity still sitting on that B point. Fire is a good position as well, waiting for the good opportunity here. Beckler is on the sentry as well, level 3 sentry running on the B point, and look at this. Here Art of Throwing are moving most of the forces through the white room. They might be looking at E rush right now. They're moving in, trying to spam out. They've been found out right now. Your demo man is sticking up the spawn. It's very dangerous to go through there right now. They might need to go back to the connector again. Here goes Dr. Bootish to the pit, getting blown away by the Pyro. Great play by Super Freddy, trying to catch up Trader off guard here. Unfortunately didn't quite manage to do so. Coach Spooky is also in a good position here. Sis moving in with assistance. They're going to pop the Uber onto the B point, but looks like the whole team has rotated through the spawn. Great decision here by Doctors of Mediocrity. They still are hungry for blood. Here goes the heavy. Buck is gonna try to kill some people. They have that Uber charge ready to go. Beckler on 3/4 health is enough to save himself. Sis is catching him off guard, has to pop that Uber. Very dangerous position to be in, and forcing that Uber very crucial as well, paying with his life. And there's a lot of hectic situations going on at the same time here, but looks like Art of Throwing will be able to secure B point, as there's no one else on there from Doctors of Mediocrity to defend it.
Yeah, that was a nice attempt to rotate to deal with both threats, both on E and B at the same time. Unfortunately, they won't be able to. They weren't able to push out that enough damage on B. They weren't able to really commit enough players onto there, and yeah, that's going to be a fairly okay cap time for Art of Throwing to take B in 1 minute 52. So nothing to grumble at all, as Traitor's starting to tickle for the point on E a little bit, and looks like the combo is going to be coming in from under, which I didn't expect to see them there at all. I guess they fake push C and then rotated around back onto E. Maybe not. I'm not 100% sure why, but seems to be working okay. As Traitor's just by himself at the moment. He's got already halfway through there. Kazuki's locking down under area at the moment quite well, and now it's just keeping Traitor alive is going to be all that's needed, as no one's really reacting to him at all. Dizzy gets taken down, and finally they're starting to maybe deal with it. They've got that sentry as well and backup. Finally Traitor gets taken down along with Kazuki, so that's going to hinder the cap time, but it's still a very good situation to be in, as the Ubers are popped off now, and this is going to go definitely in favor to Art of Throwing as Buck and Super Freddy both get taken down. However, Killer Hulu manages to get the pick onto Nate in time, so that's going to give Killer Hulu a platform to start doing some major damage as Lion King takes down Traitor, Juicer, Fire, and Sis all going down, and Beckler gets hammed along with Dizzy going down. I don't know who that demo is, but he's the unknown gods currently. He's just going absolutely huge, single-handedly taking down the C point that was under threat, but now already back to being capped. Traitor is very keen to get this point turning blue.
Yeah, and here, there's a very difficult decision for the red team to make. Do they forego C and just go E? He's so close to being capped. Sis is on the point. Traitor's gonna help him out. There's the reinforcements trying to take him down. So much spam going on the point, but this is not enough. As surprisingly enough, the E point gets capped in 3 minutes and 39 seconds. What an amazing time coming out of Art of Throwing onto Doctors of Mediocrity. Is such a difficult time to beat it. Using all those distractions going at the same time. E just being harassed all the time and using those very long respawn times for the defense, managing to get the points so crucial when it comes to CP steal, bleeding that E point of the scout. Traitor doing some amazing work, and Sis just sitting on there, blasting every single rocket coming their way. So important, as well as the engineer, who was doing an amazing job as well, putting that level 2 sentry just for spam, just for wrangling, and being in a general annoyance. Juicer basically was holding that E point almost by himself, just helping out his team, taking out all the players for the enemy team as well. Only 4 people up were at the certain time here when the E point was capped, and that was just not enough time for them to get back on it. But now we're moving into the last round, possibly for Doctors of Mediocrity. They need to step up their game. They need to be really ballsy right now with their game, as they're currently just healing up. Gonna go for A cap as well. It's just very standard, just something that happens. A point just always gets capped as the first point. You can't really progress without capping A, and thankfully enough, you know, graciously, the defending team allows for that to happen, you know, allowing the attackers to have a little bit more breathing room. But look at this, Nate is in a good spot looking into the spawn right now. He will know everything that's going to happen, but the enemy team is not going to move through there. They're going to try to go for E. They don't really have much choice, and the enemy team knows it. Art of Throwing don't really have to worry about any other points. If they just put their defense onto E, they're safe and sound, and they know this. Look at this, most of their forces are on the connector right now. Traitor as well, just scouting generally speaking, looking for some frags here. Flowy might catch them off guard here, but no, they're moving into positions right now. Here, Lion King, Buck, all by themselves right now. Beckler just tries to be safe. Both medics still at 100%. This could be a fight any second now.
This is actually looking very strong for Dr. Mediocrity at the moment. They've taken down 3 key players. The flank has all been taken down. Nate as well. And now they are going to be converging maybe for a Uber exchange here in this BCE connector. They've rotated swiftly, and Buck is almost going to fall to the pit there. He is going to have to kill Buying because there's no way he's getting out of that one. So basically, we'll call that a pit death. And they've got stickies on the point there, so they're looking fairly comfortable. Art of Throwing at the moment. However, that level 3 is doing damage, but this is just going completely in favor of Art of Throwing as a Flowy, Spooky, Yakin, Killer Hulu, and Airson all get taken down. And now you can pretty much this is looking very strong for Art of Throwing because it's forcing, due to the time that's left, this is going to force Doctors of Mediocrity to commit fully to E here. They don't have to worry about rotation that much because honestly, there's not going to be enough time to do any other style of push. Maybe they can try and take B and then use those forward spawns to help with an E push. But regardless, ultimately they're going to have to get on E within the next 30 seconds if they've got any chance of taking this now. So really, Art of Throwing can just fully commit to this hold, and it's very easy to ult E when you know that there's no other option for your enemy team.
Yeah, and here right now they're going into the connector. The attackers here, Beckler, Lion King leading the charge, trying to take the enemies down. Their counter pop has been exchanged here as they're trying to move in, catch people off guard. Not much sharing going on the attackers here. Doctors of Mediocrity forced to get out. Buck is still there trying to help out, waiting for some people to come by and basically kill them off with that close range minigun. So deadly as they're going in. Lion King trying to spam the enemies. Juica almost dying there to a couple of sticks, and now they're alive. bad spot here. 50 seconds to go, not enough time. Trying to put some timer on it. Heavy goes down here. Bug, such an important pick. Freddy also goes down to an air blast. Unfortunately, he gets killed by himself here. Dr. Brutish, so low in health, finally gets caught off guard here. A lot of spam going on the connector. Not much time left. You're only 30 seconds. Lion King tries to ham the enemy demo. Gets him. Actually, it was a Pan. So Pan versus Ham. Pan actually does win. Nice headshot there on the scout assassin. It goes down to Nate Trader finishing off Lion King. A lot of people down for the attackers. Doctors of Mediocrity. 15 seconds on the clock. It is just simply not enough to do anything about it. Level 1. Actually, there's a mini sentry guarding the point by itself. That's basically just thanks to Jusa holding this point and Arthur throwing, netting themselves a very nice win here. Very convincing. I mean, it just shows how much work they've done. Every single push that I've seen was just so coordinated. I'm not sure if it was thanks to map talks, scrimming, or just simply cohesion of the team itself, but they have prevailed and absolutely dominated Doctors of Mediocrity. And well, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, that's a wrap, basically. It was just like this, you know? E-points gets capped under 4 minutes, and now the team does not have much choice. It gives such a comfortable situation for the attacking team on the first round. I mean, if you cap the points so quickly, you basically can just put all the forces onto E and not worry about any other points, because the other team simply does not have enough time to act upon it. And that's what Art of Throwing did. Held that E point straight away, losing a few players in that exchange, but that was just okay because they have a spawn right there, right next to the E point, and that's how they basically win.
Yeah, and I think we're going to have some time maybe for some logs now before we wrap this up. So I don't know if they're going to be on screen shortly. I'm sure going to try and find them myself. Who do you think were the standout players that match then for you?
Hard to say. I would say probably Trader and Spooky. I mean, they've been doing so much work on the flank, just being constant harassment, getting those cap points and cap time as whenever possible, you know, harassing the enemy backline, just being a general nuisance. And that's what you do on CP Seal as a flank. All you do is just distract the enemy team, try to pull their forces from the defending some certain point, and allow your team to move in, possibly reunite with them so you can just get this death ball going once again while you're getting on the point itself. And that's what they've been doing the entire time, doing a very good job, not getting that many frags as you would probably expect. Flowy here actually being not doing so much work in terms of stopping them, unfortunately. When we're looking at the logs, Nate is top scoring with 10 kills only during this entire game. Spooky second with 9, and Lion King following up with another 9 here. So not that many frags going the entire game, but every single frag was very important, and every frag was acted upon. There was just not some random damage being thrown out. It's just very meticulous picks that were acted upon by the enemy team. And here, Art of Throwing definitely prevailing, getting the important clutch picks here, and basically pushing onto the point whenever they want it.
Yeah, and good. I mean, it's kind of interesting looking at the damage output as well from Lion King on 454, and you compare that to Wild Piggy, who was only, yeah, it is actually Wild Piggy, I think now. We can, yeah, it definitely is. Really only hitting 266, still let's roll them here. So I mean, what that's telling me immediately is the emphasis on the strategy used by Art of Throwing was what made the prevail. The damage didn't really matter at the end of the day, because that strategy, that cohesion from Art of Throwing was just next level when you compare it to how Doctor Mediocrity played. And I hate to say it, but I really think, I hope this isn't one of these casters curse types of things, because I really had my hope set for Doctor Mediocrity to take this one, just due to how long they've played as a team there. And I've been very shocked at how kind of the lack of cohesion I saw between them, or maybe it was just better cohesion from Art of Throwing. Maybe they've just played this more recently. I simply don't know.
Yeah, and here, coming into this game, like I said here, Nate is just giving me a little heads up that he's laughing that they did any map talks. Like I said, it just could go down to cohesion. They've been playing together for some time now. Doctors of Mediocrity, despite having a very stable roster for a few seasons today, they had a few changes here and there. And unfortunately, we're not able to take down Art of Throwing. Just looking up logs from the first round as well. Spooky leading with 22 kills, Lion King second. and you did say that Lion King is someone that you have to watch out for when it comes to Doctors of Mediocrity. Unfortunately, this time he was not able to stop the entire enemy force by himself, and as such, Doctors of Mediocrity losing another point in the UGC League. Thankfully, though, it is not just over yet. I mean, we're midway through the season. There's definitely gonna be more matches coming up in the future. This is just CP Steel. Anything could happen on this map. Like I said, the underdogs usually prevail when it comes to this map in particular. And then moving on forward, we're gonna be casting more matches here on KritzKast. So please do stay tuned every single Monday in the evening between 8 and 9 p.m. CST. We do those casts. Usually within the same kind of roster of people. Me being Jake, today with me in the casting booth, Chando, and on the camera was niceAsh. So if you want to watch a few more of those casts together with us, please do tune in every single week, Monday, once again. And Weedhoot also said that I should probably point it out to you guys that tomorrow is the TF2 anniversary, I do believe, 10th birthday of TF2. I do believe it was on Friday when was actually the anniversary, but tomorrow is something else. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, it's big news for Team Fortress 2. Hopefully we get some more updates going soon as well. We've all been waiting with our hands and fingers crossed that we do have some sort of update coming out of Valve. But yeah, it's been talking way too long here, right? Kind of help me out, please.
Well, yeah, that's really better. I believe it's their TF2's 10th birthday, so we're hoping for something big. I'm not sure if KritzKast got anything planned, but as Jake said, really, tune in every Monday at around 2100. That's in European time, for UGC matches up. We're gonna be running those through straight up to the finals, and then I'm pretty sure we're going straight into ETF12. I'm pretty covered on KritzKast, and so we're looking forward to that. We're going to be moving from one straight to the other, more or less. So you've got non-stop Highlander, really. I mean, what more could you ask for? Who doesn't love to sit down every week and watch a nice game of top tier Highlander? So really good stuff there. But I think that's going to wrap it up for this week here. I've been Chando, and with me as the Honourable Jake. niceAsh doing a really good job on productions there. And just finally, before we wrap this thing up, apologies for the video problems that you saw on stream there. As far as I know, I think it was OBS playing up. But either way, we're going to look into that, and we should be back to normal come next week. But until then, thank you very much, guys. Peace out.